Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fred Roselli, TV 35. No, we're not here for a Columbus Day football special or anything. We're going to touch upon some of the other sports at South River High School, especially two this evening or this afternoon. We're going to talk a little bit about girls soccer and a little bit about boys soccer. There's a lot to talk about with it. First, I'd like to welcome my good friend here, Donnie Minto, head coach for the girls soccer team.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Coaching girls soccer, interesting season you had. Opening game a loss. Did it bother you? Were you concerned?
Yes, certainly bothers me. Any loss is going to bother me. Any goal coming 40 seconds in and then going the rest 79 minutes and not being able to get JFK that afternoon, yeah, it bothered me. I just don't think they were better than us, but
did it bother you as much when you ran off 11 wins after that?
That's a little bit more satisfying, certainly for me, and I hope for the girls.
Speaking of the young ladies, to my right, your left, two of our two seniors that are playing. We have Tiffany Fisher and Nicole Narago, and I apologize again. I'll get it right by prom time. Welcome to TV 35. The thoughts that the two of you had, you're seniors, you played soccer here, you're coming towards the end of your high school career. What were your thoughts after that first game coming in 0-1?
I was definitely very upset. I wanted to start off the season undefeated. I was at loss for words that day because I felt like we were the better team, but we didn't play like the better team.
What were your thoughts, Tiff?
Yeah, I agree. It was just very frustrating because we knew that we were better, like they both said, and the fact that the goal came off a silly mistake and then we couldn't capitalize and score after, even though we knew that we could have. And we had chances. I think it was just lack of experience for some of the girls because we do have only two seniors. So, but going there for, like, after, by being able to have all those wins was really comforting.
Do you think start of a season with a loss makes everybody on the team refocus and, hey, let's not look ahead, we got to take them one game at a time?
Yeah, I mean, we did have a talk, like, right after that game, and we said, all right, we need to really pick it up going forward.
Well, whatever you said it right. You came back with 11 wins, and that's not too shabby. Coach, thoughts about two seniors here you have? You've coached them for a number of years here. I shut their mics off, so you can say whatever you like.
Two great young ladies. Very proud of them. You know, they both came in as freshmen, both started from day one. Tiffany, although she played soccer in middle school, did not play goal. You know, she played the field and kind of threw her in the mix early on in the preseason her freshman year, and immediately she adapted to the position, and it has come light years since then.
I will mention, I don't know if light years is the right one to use, but looking at some of her stats, 42 saves in 12 games, 9 shutouts in 12 games, and gave up a big 3 goals in 12 games. Got to put your mind at ease when that ball comes down towards that end of the field.
Yeah, definitely she always does her part, and I think the girls know that I'm always stressing that everybody needs to do their part defensively. So, you know, as much as I need to give credit to Tiff, there's 10 girls in front of her that are limiting chances. There's some games where, you know, she's not getting much action, but case in point, yesterday we were up 1-0 with about 20 minutes to go, and she made a good diving save to keep the clean sheet there. So when a save needs to be made, you know, she needs to be ready, and she has been.
Tiff, talking about the goalie there, I've seen you play basketball, your heart's left on the floor. I've seen you play soccer, I've been at a number of the games. Did you change your style or your thought on how you were going to play after that first game? Did it change you any on the way you were going to play as goalie?
Yeah, I mean, going into it, senior year, I was like, all right, we want to make the best of this year and we want to go undefeated. And I think that first goal, like within the first, 20, 40 seconds, made me realize that, like, once that whistle blows, I have to be ready, I have to be on my toes. Because it did come from, like, not stepping up between me and the defender in front of me. It was like miscommunication and just kind of unpreparedness. So I think if once the whistle blew, if I was like ready, if I was getting up, it may have been a different scenario. So from then on out, every game, like once we stepped on that field, I was ready, I was on my toes.
Again, you did it right because of the following 11 games, you put together 9 shutouts, so what you're doing is done properly. Thoughts about senior year in the sense of what it was like going from a freshman soccer, sophomore soccer, junior soccer, senior soccer. Your thoughts on it? How you progressed? How the team progressed?
It's crazy. It went by so quick, and I feel like my 4 years I've accomplished a lot. We won division 3 times, which is a big thing.
Possibly 4.
Yeah, and I feel like I've improved a lot as well as a player, as a midfielder, especially letting go of the ball and passing the ball,
Getting off the ball.
getting off the ball. And I think we've improved a lot.
Tiff, as coach indicated, you came in not anticipating being goalie, I don't think. What was your thought when coach says, Tiff, I want to try you in the goal? And I shut off his mic so he can't hear you.
Honestly, like, I was kind of excited because even though I never tried goal before, I knew like soccer was not my strong point. I was just playing because it was fun. Like, yeah, I had goals in middle school, but middle school soccer, high school soccer, it's not the same thing. And honestly, I tell everybody this story. I'm pretty sure the main reason he asked me was because we were doing dribbling drills. That ball was going all over the place. I could not keep it with me, and he was like, "Yeah, she got to go somewhere else." So
Tick tock, work your
yeah,
way
it
with
was
it.
it was bad. So when I was putting in goal, it felt more natural to me because I was using my hands, which I use for basketball. I use more often. So being able to actually dive and catch the ball, it felt more like me than soccer using my feet.
Coach, talking about not only these 2 young ladies, but the team as a whole, have you seen them mature as each year goes by? You know, the girls each step up. Do you feel more comfortable with the players are coming in and all?
Yeah, I mean, always a good part of the season, or an important part of the season, is the seniors. And if you don't have a good senior batch that really get it by senior year, it makes it difficult. And the case in point for these 2, you know, one of the things I'm a little bit more timid every year is giving out captain's bands. So from the beginning of the season, I did not have captains. You know, I need them to prove it, to show it. You know, and here we went through every round within our division undefeated. And I knew that our biggest opponent was probably going to be Highland Park. And after that win, I mean, that's probably the best game that they played all season. A team that should have, you know, been much more competitive, and they dominated them 5-0. And after that, we had a sit down. They got, I guess we'll call it, rewarded with their captain's bands because, you know, they're really pulling along the other girls. I mean, I have 2 freshmen that start very often, and as a freshman, you usually don't get much. You don't understand what's at stake, and here they're being reminded every game is closer to the end for them.
As a senior, for sure. Thoughts about the young ladies talking? We won 3 titles. Does that come into play for doing 4 in a row?
I mean, it's always important. You know, for us, playing for a divisional title is one of the biggest things for us. When we set out for goals, and certainly for me as their coach personally, they know, you know, I want to run a table divisionally. You know, I want to go undefeated, and I want them, you know, to accomplish that satisfaction of getting there. You know, states are always a difficult situation. Counties, you've got Group 3, Group 4 schools. So, for the most part, we really do play for our divisional title.
Is there an opportunity to meet your Game 1 opponent again in playoffs or anything, or really doubtful?
Certainly not in states. Probably doubtful to get JFK one more time.
Would you like to get JFK one more time?
Yeah,
Definitely.
more than once.
Definitely.
What made you right into, yes, absolutely, definitely?
I just feel like it's a game that we should have definitely won. I feel like we went into the game with the mindset, oh, we beat them last year 4-0. We can easily beat them again. And I think that was wrong of us. We should have been the better team that day, and we should have won.
Well, you were, except for the one play.
Yeah.
It's something that you learn by it. You know, we talked about what went on. You learn, you adjust, and you make it work to your satisfaction. Your girls have done a great job. Tiff, going to you as goalie. Ball's been quite a bit down at the other end of the field. And I often watch you there. What's going through your mind? Don't tell me that you're worried about the girls. They're all the way down the other end of the field. And, you know, besides kicking the stone or getting frostbite, what's going through your mind when you're in one of those situations?
I'm just like whispering to myself. I'm like, go, go, go. Like, I'm rooting them on from all the way over there. I try to keep talking and like, oh, spread out, don't bunch. I say that at least 10 times a game. I try to give them advice, even though they may not hear me from all the way down there, but I try to be a voice because I can see everything in front of me. So some things that, let's say she's dribbling and someone's open, she might not be able to see them. So if I say, Nicole, square ball to Maddie, it'll be easier for her. Oh, I know she's over there. And then she knows where to pass it. So just kind of being eyes for my team.
Talking about being eyes for the team, she's all the way down at the other end of the field. You're right in the heart of it.
Yeah.
As you're upfield, they're looking at you, get the goals, do what you have to do. What do you find, or how do you find the other players responding when you're yelling and whatnot?
I feel as the season has passed by, they do listen a lot better. We are playing more as a team. And yeah, we've been connecting a lot of good passes, good through balls, square balls and everything. While in the beginning of the season, it was more kickball. It was just kickball. So I think we've improved a lot.
Well, you certainly have 10 goals, 5 assists.
Yes, sir.
Not too shabby to do. You're winding down now with the season. What are your thoughts, not only about wins and losses, but that the fact that your high school soccer career's coming to a close? And I don't mean that in a negative sense, because you'll have the memories for the rest of your life. What are your thoughts about it? First yourself.
It's crazy to me. I didn't think 4 years was going to go by this quick. My freshman year, I remember that our last game against Point Pleasant Beach, really bad game, but I remember just sitting there, I have 3 years left. And now I'm here.
You have weeks.
Weeks left.
But enjoyable memories from it all.
Yes.
How about you, Tiff?
I mean, yeah, like I know when Minto has talked with us sometimes, he'll say like, oh, you still have 3 more to go, like 3 more senior nights to go. But soccer is like in itself, it's one of my top sports. Like, yeah, I may say, oh, basketball is my favorite sport, but the memories in soccer, like it's a completely different thing. Like the feeling of being the goalie, like on the field and having my girls, like I consider us, even though there's different girls each year leaving, coming, like it's our soccer family. Like that's cliche, but we really get to know each other and like we bond. The bonds we make, it's just a different thing.
Have you found the underclassmen, more of the freshmen and sophomores, respond to you as, I don't want to call you captains, but as the seniors on the team? Or they got to learn, they got to go through the learning groove?
It definitely did take like maybe a few games because I know we had to kind of clarify and just say like, if we're giving you advice on the field, like it's constructive criticism. We're not trying to yell at
Don't
you.
get offended.
We're not trying to be like bullies. We're trying to help you out. And I think by us having that conversation with them and letting them know like we're here for you, we're trying to make you better, I think they kind of got a respect for it. And they talk to us like this with respect, but they also talk to us as teammates. Like we don't act like we're higher up than them or like bow down to us. Like we have the teammates, the friendship, like we respect them, they respect us.
If the season were ending tomorrow, for whatever reason, what would be one of your best memories of the soccer, and what would be one of your saddest or worst memories of the soccer?
My best memory will definitely be my sophomore year. I think it was quarterfinals of states. We were playing South Hunterdon and we went to penalties. And I remember I went up for my 3rd penalty. We went to I don't even know how many rounds of penalties.
12.
12 rounds
Coach
of
just so
penalties.
happened, forgot to shut his mic off.
And it was my turn, and if I scored, we would have moved on to the next round. And I remember just stepping up, and I scored it, and just running up to my teammates, all happy and everything. And that was my best memory so far.
It'll be a memory you'll take for the rest of your life.
Yes, I will.
One of your best memories, Tiff?
Best memories? Probably, like, I guess I could say 3 different in the same thing is just winning that division title. Like, I know yesterday we won actually the division title, and like once that game ended, I like screamed, I jumped up in the air, we hugged, like it's a different feeling. Like, yeah, we knew, oh, it's 1-0, like if we win the game it's the title, but once it actually happens, it's a crazy
And
feeling.
again, memories you'll take forever.
Mm-hmm.
One of your saddest moments in those 3.5 years of soccer?
Definitely losing the finals to Middlesex in overtime with seconds left. It was
Yeah, that's,
Tough one.
That's
Tough
mine
one.
too.
So,
Tough
okay.
one.
It's, if you talk to most athletes, even at the high school level, there are games or events or plays, you know, if I did this or if they done it, you can't change it, but you can hope that it'll make you a better person as you move on.
Yeah.
Coach, from your end, losing 2 leaders next year, you've done a good job, obviously, working on bringing the underclassmen up, you know, developing them, freshmen, sophomores to juniors. Good nucleus still there?
Yes. I mean, sad to always see any senior graduate and leave, even if it's 2, but it means we're still coming back with 9 starters. But replacing key positions of a center midfielder who started for 4 years in the goal, and Tiff who started 4 years in net, those are not easy positions to fill. If you don't have a goalie, you're shot. You know, so that's going to be a tough replacement.
If the season was ending tomorrow and everybody was leaving for school, what would be your word of advice to each of them?
You know, whether they realize it or not, I'm always trying to stress real life situations in sports. You know, that you learn a lot, whether it's responsibility, time management, how to recover from tough losses. You know how you can use those steps, those life lessons later on. You know, and whether it's me and my demands, and if you can work with me, you're probably going to be able to work with anybody later on in life. But they have certainly grown and done a fantastic job at girls soccer over the last 4 years.
What would be your last thoughts to Coach if tomorrow was the end and you're moving on to college? What would you say to Coach, or what would you want him to know?
Definitely thank you for everything. I think he believed in me more than any other coach or any other, even like my family members or my coaches too. He's believed in me more than any of them. He's given me opportunities, chances, and I'll say thank you.
Tiff?
Yeah, same
Thoughts?
thing. Just for everything like inside soccer, I guess just seeing me and seeing that I had the potential to be goalie. Like if you didn't care about the sport, you wouldn't have seen that in me. You wouldn't have said, "Oh, let's try something new." It would just been like, "All right, whatever." And like you can tell even for history class, like you can tell that you have a passion about what you do and that you want the best for everybody. And how you say like even outside of soccer, you care for us. Like between helping me with college stuff and the Common App, and like you want what's best for us and you actually care about us. We're not just another student or another player. And just thank you for that.
I would like to thank both of you for coming on to, we'll call it Coach's Corner. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. And Coach, I want to thank you, but I would be remiss if I didn't let the fans know, and I know you're very modest about it, but Coach Minto set the school record for wins as girls coach, which these 2 young ladies know. Congratulations. I hope you enjoyed coming over to Coach's Corner.
I
And
did.
hopefully
Thank
you
you
can
very
start.
much.
I couldn't be happier. I'm thrilled to see you doing as well as you do, and I wish you nothing but good luck and
Thank you.
maybe
Thank
take
you.
it all the way this year.
Thank you.
We have wonderful people here, wonderful players, wonderful coaches. We're going to do a little bit more in just a few minutes. We're going to bring in the boys soccer coach and a couple of their players. And we'll see what they can tell us about turning around their season. So for now, thank you, and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, Fred Roselli, TV 35, here at Coach's Corner. Just a few minutes, as you were watching, we just finished up with our girls soccer team, interviewed some of their players. If you see, over to my left, your right, is Coach Cobb. Coach, welcome to
Thank
Coach's
you.
Corner. And I have along with me Sean Mendez and David Pereira, 2 of the players here. I'm sorry, Daniel. My apology. 2 of the players here for the Rams. You have a season going, 11-1, not too bad, only 1 loss. Initial thoughts about the season so far, one at a time.
We're doing great. I knew coming into the season it was going to be a blast. We were going to destroy the competition and do a lot. I had confidence in the boys, and that preseason really paid off. And this season and the results show.
And your thoughts about it?
It's going great so far, but it's in the past. I'm more looking forward for the future. Tomorrow we have a big division game, and that's what it is for. Whatever, all the work that we put before the season goes into tomorrow, and that's where it counts. And to states and GMC later.
Coach, first year coaching the squad, Coming in, taking over after another coach is never easy to do. How did the players adjust to you, first of all, for, we'll call it the preseason and the first game?
I think they were receptive. Regardless of who was in the position beforehand, coaches are always going to do things differently. And that was definitely the case here as well. But they've been receptive to me. They've been very respectful of me. It's been great. I did coach some of them back in middle school when I coached middle school boys. And of course had some of them in the classroom. So, I knew some of them, and it's just been great getting to know them as players as well as, students.
Did you expect at this stage of the season you would have an 11-1 record?
I honestly didn't know what to expect. I'm super proud of what we've done so far. The pressure just keeps building with every game for them as well as me.
What was the reaction in your eyes of the players after that first loss?
For the most part, we across the board, everybody was upset, myself included. But I think for the most part, they recognize that, of course, at some point, it's going to happen, right? And not only was it the first loss, but it was also the first goal scored against us at the season. So it was a lot of things coming
10
together. 10
shutouts.
Yes.
Not too bad.
Not at all.
Total of 3 goals given up.
So far, yes.
Not too bad.
Not bad at all. Our defense, which Sean is a part of, and Danny plays a little bit of that as well, they've been strong throughout the year. They've been keeping us in some of the games. We won a couple of games by only a couple of goals, and it's because our defense is back there cleaning it up in the back.
Did that loss make you change any of your styles of play, or, geez, we got to work on X or Y? Did it reset your mind?
I know that for the boys it did, but a lot of them are also, taking the approach that, we just got to work harder. We just got to do better. They're good at putting it in the past and focusing on the future and just doing better for the next game.
The two of you come in, and the bulk of your squad, seniors. We were talking with the girls' soccer team, 2 seniors on the squad. I think you got between 15 and 17 players here, all seniors. Have you played together not only at the high school level, but whether it's at travel soccer or other leagues and all? Have you all played together doing that also?
I have, with the goalie especially, Anthony Fessy and Michael Jara, and some of the other boys we play indoor and travel as well. So we had the chemistry. We knew how we played, and we just built on it with the other players.
Your thoughts?
We haven't really played all of us together at once. The last time that happened was middle school, and that year we also had a great year. So it's kind of resembling what's happening this year.
Thoughts about your goalie? He is, like we were talking earlier, I looked over some of what he has here. 42 shots. In all his games, 10 shutouts, only giving up 3 goals. That makes it a little easier, but he can't score the goals for us. That falls on the rest of the squad. What are your thoughts knowing you have him behind you?
It's great. We are glad to have him as a goalkeeper, and it shows how much he's putting the effort to keep us in the game. And it's just, I'm glad. And he's a good leader as well, one of our other captains. And he shows he's very vocal, and he wants us to win. He's all about winning and determination.
When you get out on the field, do you find with the number of seniors that are out there, when the players do come off the bench or substitutions come in, the players that are out there respect the seniors that are out on the field with them, and they know, listen, what they're telling me is corrective criticism, not, hey, you got to do this and that?
You want me?
Thoughts about it, that's all, just in general.
It goes back and forth. It doesn't matter if you're a senior or a junior. We both talk. We both criticize each other, but there's no hate. It goes back and forth. It's just respect.
One game that you played this year that you thought was one of the best games for you individually, not as a squad?
I've got to say, against Middlesex, we came in, it was a hard game. We had so many chances to put it on net. We came out with the win, and we broken their undefeated streak, which
Yeah.
was very impressive.
Something you like to have on the senior year, right?
Of course.
How about yourself?
Individually, right?
Individually.
I guess the game we played against South Plainfield.
Why?
Why? Because we absolutely dominated. I had 2 assists, and I was just controlling the midfield. I was keeping the game. I was controlling the pace of the game.
Coach, your thoughts are one of the best games they played the whole season.
I would have to, as a whole, I would have to agree with Danny. It was the South Plainfield game. I say that and then I think, oh, maybe it was this game, because there are just so many good games that we played, and I've said this to them as well. There's so many outsiders that are not even part of South River that have come up to me after the game and just, commended them and how well they play as a team, and how well they possess the ball and just do exactly what they're supposed to do.
As you're getting into or closer to what we'll call playoff season, are you comfortable where they're at right now, or they did not reach their peak yet, as a coach?
I am comfortable where they are, as long as we play the way we played it for all of our games, except for the one game that we lost. And they know it. I told them they were outplayed that game. They were they did not play the game that they're used to playing, and they agreed with me. We have those conversations on the sidelines, and if they can play the way that we know how they can play, then absolutely, we're going to do well in playoffs.
Thoughts about soccer in South River? Like you said, you played through middle school and all. When you were in middle school, were you looking, saying, geez, I'd like to play at the high school level some point in time? Was it there where you're looking at it and thinking ahead?
At the moment, no. I was just focused on middle school and focused there only. And then when it got to high school, then I was going to focus there.
How about yourself?
I was focusing on high school, but through middle school, I was trying to play through middle school, earn my rep through my teammates. So when we get to high school, I'll be there, because I always dreamt of being the captain of the varsity, and I achieved it through my work through middle school.
Did you find the transition from middle school soccer to high school soccer was more difficult, higher level of competition, or what did you think about that?
Definitely. It was way more competitive than middle school, and I loved it. I always love competition to improve as a player, and so the whole team could improve.
The only difference I saw is just the game was much faster. So when I got to high school, I was a very small kid, and I was chubby. Was coming into high school, so it took a toll on me. I was struggling at first, then I grew a little bit. I got skinnier. Then it came easier to me.
You find soccer's becoming a 12-month sport for the two of you.
Yes.
Enjoyable, right?
You gotta enjoy every moment of it.
Now that you mentioned you have to enjoy it, what is probably your thoughts, even though Coach has only been here 1 year with you, how do you think your coach did? I shut her mic off so she can't hear you. How do you think your coach did as a coach for you in 1 year?
Awesome. I knew when I heard she was going to be the head coach, I knew it was going to be a great season. And I told myself, she deserves to win something. We'll help her win something. I've had her in 6th grade, so I know how she played and how she worked. So I felt comfortable coming into the season.
And your thoughts?
I thought it was great. No, yeah, same as him. How I was one of the kids she coached back in 6th grade. So knowing her coaching style compared to the previous coach, Cleese, I knew something different was going to come, and it definitely showed for it.
And obviously the team was very receptive to it. You put together a great season so far. Coach, you had a lot of them at the middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get up to the high school. You know, even before they do, it's a whole new world once you get to the high school level. The speed of the game changes. The quality of the game changes. The shots get more amazing. Do you think most of those guys were ready for that when you first came in, even though you didn't have them as freshmen, sophomores, juniors? Do you think from looking at the squad they were ready, or you think, well, we can build better yet?
I would say a lot of them were ready. A lot of them had already played at the varsity level, so they were ready for that. Just looking at some of the kids that have talent at the JV level, they just don't maybe have the size yet, kind of like what Danny had mentioned earlier. You know, we definitely have a future with some of them. It just is, like you said, it's a completely different level. I mean, I've been involved in soccer since I was 7 years old, whether it was high school or college or, you know, whatever coaching that I've done. And this game with high school boys is definitely the fastest paced, you know, best soccer I've witnessed, you know.
Did
in
it
the time that I've
surprise
been
you, or you expected it?
I expected it, but at the same time, the boys across the board just continue to surprise me with their talent. They definitely do.
Looking forward to any particular games coming up? Not what you already played, but is there a game coming up that, ooh, this game or that game? Besides the fact that your coach will tell you the most important game is the next game you're going to play. But we'll shut her mic off again. What are your thoughts?
I think every game is going to be important, so I'm going to be looking towards every game. Don't care how easy or hard it is, no matter what.
And yourself?
Like I said before, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a big game.
That's the game.
Win or lose, if we win, we end the 8-year drought of no division. Then we end the 6-year drought of no trophy. So it's tomorrow.
And what would that mean to you for your high school career? Going out on a high note?
At least we won something. That's all I gotta say. At least we won something.
Whether you're win or lose, let's set the playing aside. What about the camaraderie between the players? That's something, some of them will become best friends that you'll talk about. I'm sure from some of the past years, high school players, whenever it was, if they won a championship, they'll say, oh, look, do this here, you'll do it, you'll remember it the rest of your life. What about your camaraderie with your teammates?
Yeah, definitely. If we win something, it will want them to win something as well, push them and wanting to win something bigger for us.
Your thoughts?
I definitely think it'll bring us closer, and hopefully, if we do win tomorrow, it'll give us more confidence. We'll go more in a streak, so when the county tournament starts, we push through, make a run for it.
And it'll be a memory you'll take with you for the rest of your life, that's for sure. Well, I want to thank both of you very much for being here. Coach, pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much.
Continue on. I hope
Absolutely.
you just keep it just with that one small blemish. Be a nice one to have.
Absolutely.
On behalf of myself, TV 35, this is Fred Roselli with Coach's Corner. Very much appreciate the time of the players and the coach. Thank you and good night.